Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back. Today I've got a gardening episode you're not going to want to miss. I'm going to be sharing with you some amazing tips that are going to help you to grow an abundant, resilient garden that's going to get you through this season, into the fall, through the winter. All right, my friends, so what we're really going to be doing right now is offering our plants some additional support, a quick boost to get them going in the right direction so that they can thrive and become more resilient to the different issues that plants face out in the garden. And think about what they have to go through to make it to the end game and bring you that abundance of produce. Well, they got inclement weather patterns, hot, cold, sunny, rain. They have insects that come around and eat their leaves. They have fungus issues to contend with. Disease issues can pop up. There's so much that can affect a plant, but really most of these issues can be prevented just by giving your plants what it is they need to survive so that they're strong. So what I'm going to be using today is actually a combination product of 𝗙𝗏𝗄𝐿 emulsion and kelp. So I used to perform this task using just fish emulsion, which is absolutely fine. Fish emulsion has nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and the plants absolutely love whether you give them a root drench or a little foliar feeding from time to time. Now, because it does have that nitrogen in there, you're going to want to back off at certain times. If you start to notice that your plant's putting off large flushes of leaves rather than fruit, that would be a signal to back up off the nitrogen. But just a little bit here and there is just fine. And fish emulsion most of the time is just a byproduct of the commercial fishing industry, and we don't want things to go to waste. We might as well use it to produce even more food. So the guts, the bones, heads, stuff like that, they blend all that stuff up into a slurry and turn it into a fertilizer, and there you go. It's the same thing as burying a can of sardines under your plant to get that nutrition from the fish. Now, another one of my favorite fertilizers is liquid kelp, which is seaweed, because it's packed with minerals, and you can't overdo it with the kelp. It's not going to burn the roots of your plants. You don't want to waste product, of course, but it's just one of those things that goes well with just about every amendment that you might want to throw into your garden soil and feed your plants with. Now, this particular product, once again, comes with the kelp inside. I've done this in the past using separate product, fish emulsion and kelp. So I'd say maybe pick something like this up first and give it a try, and if it works for you, then you can buy those products in bulk, save a bit of money. But the liquid kelp, being full of those minerals, is going to feed the plant, giving it that added strength, again, to become resilient to all the things that bother a plant. And in return, not only are you going to have a healthier plant, but you're going to have a plant that's able to produce for you, and what it produces should taste better and be higher in nutrition. All right, so we can use our watering can for drenching if we want, or we can use our Field King electric pump sprayer to do a foliar feeding. This is an amazing pump sprayer. I can't say enough good things about it. All electric, no need for pumping, and you can just take the head off and charge it up. It's got a lithium-ion battery in there. So I'm going to make up 2 different batches here. Now, it calls for 2 ounces per gallon of water. I'm going to fill this container up to about 2 gallons, so we'll throw in about 4 ounces, which is about 2 shot glasses worth. And we'll do around the same amount in here. So you can see it really doesn't take much. A jug like this could last you an entire growing season with a rather large garden. So it's recommended that you do your feeding either early morning, late in the evening, and that's especially if you're going to be doing a foliar feeding using a pump sprayer. The root drench is going to soak into the ground regardless, but still you don't want to do that in the heat of the day where it can really get hot in the soil. And just look at the foam that was created there, mixing the product with the water. Looks a lot like compost tea, gives you results a lot like the compost tea. And compost tea is definitely something, if you can, I would recommend that you include in your fertilizing schedules as well. So for the electric pump sprayer, we're just going to press that button. It's going to pressurize. Well, my friends, summer is inching closer every single day. We're just about a couple weeks away now. The spring weather has been an absolute delight. For the most part, we've been in the 70, 80 degree Fahrenheit range. It's been really nice. Check out those heirloom tomatoes. Oh, I can't wait to make a tomato sandwich. Overall, these pool gardens are doing tremendously well. literally set it and forget it type system, other than adding in the water. And I just wanted to show you here how all the water that was in this pool a couple days ago has soaked in to the pot, to the soil. So it's dry. There's no habitat there for mosquitoes to lay their eggs. So that's how I do it. I let it dry out in between waterings, and about once a week right now is the right schedule to give these little pools a fill up. But everything is really just healthy and booming. Very happy with this setup. Got some beautiful sunflowers joining us today. And right here near the base, we've got this little eggplant here, and it's just not looking very happy. There's probably a lack of nutrition in this little area right here, and it's getting a bit dried out. All right, I'm gonna give this little eggplant some nutrition here, just as if we were watering it. We're gonna douse the leaves, everything. Give it a good soak. And we'll come back and give it a look in a couple minutes and see if it's perked up at all. And here we are a couple minutes later, and hopefully you can tell, but the plant really has perked up. That's about as pretty as it's gonna look right now. But we're giving it a chance to rebound, come back, and produce for us. And that's all there is to it, my friends. Just a little splash here, a little splash there. It doesn't take much at all. This eggplant over here on the 𝗙𝗿𝗄𝐿 is doing a lot better. Here's another one that was struggling a bit. So we will give that a boost. All right, now foliar feeding is by far my favorite way to apply the soluble fertilizers. So we're all pressurized here, and you can see I'm able to get this entire tree, and I'm just targeting the leaves, the stems, mainly the underside of the leaves. So terrestrial plants mainly have clusters of what's known as stomata on the underside of the leaves. So stomata is similar to like human pores on your skin. It's the plant's pores, and they uptake nutrition through those pores. And as I had mentioned before, it's important that you do this early morning or in the evening. I'm jumping the gun a little bit here for demonstration purposes. I want you to get a clear view of what's going on. But both heat and daylight will cause the stomata to close up, and it won't take in the nutrient. Now here's a bonus tip for you if you want to get the most out of your foliar feeding. What you're going to want to do is add in a surfactant. And in this case, I'm using a little bit of this 𝗏𝗏𝐿 plant-powered dish soap, and I put in about 1/4 teaspoon per gallon, so about 1/2 teaspoon for 2 gallons. So whether you're applying compost tea or some soluble fertilizer nutrient, adding just a little bit of that mild soap is going to help with coverage so that we get a nice even distribution all on the leaf rather than just larger droplets that are going to drip off wasted product. So if you find yourself dealing with pesky insects, for example, aphids, leaf miners, whiteflies, thripe, as soon as you see an issue, if you can come out and give a feeding like this and boost your plant's ability to defend itself, you should see a turnaround in the problem, as most of the time the pests are attacking weaker plants that are unable to defend themselves because they don't have adequate nutrition. So your edible plants, when given the proper amount of nutrition and care, will have an elevated �y'𝗏𝐿 value. �y'𝗏𝐿 generally is measuring the sugars of the plant and is a great indicator of the overall health of the plant, nutrition of the plant, and usually translates to better taste as well. So just another reason to go ahead and just take that extra step of loving and caring for your crops. Well, that's going to wrap this one up, my friends. I have got some seed harvesting I need to be doing today, and a bit of thinning, some chop and drop out in the backyard food forest. I sure do appreciate you spending some time with me today. And so with that, have yourself a great rest of the day. Until next time, this is Dan from plantabundance.com. Take care. I'll be talking to you again soon.